let's keep going now. So we have blocked in the up muscles of the upper arm, right? We have seen bicep brachis, brachialis, and brachioradialis being flexors. They flex the arm, the forearm upward like this. And then we have seen the extensors of the forearm, the tricep group. So the tricep is made up of the lateral head of the tricep, the long head of the tricep, and the medial head of the tricep, which we have mentioned, but I didn't go into. So now, let's see now the muscle of the forearm. We can identify two main volumes for our aesthetic purposes, artistic purposes, right? So one is the well, let's start from the longer volume of the extensor of the fingers and of the carpus. Here I will have the olecranon. I'll show you the olecranon. This is the olecranon, right? The bump in the elbow, right? The olecranon. And when I have my arm extended, the olecranon creates a bump that is at the same level as the lateral condyle, actually epicondyle, right? This is the lateral epicondyle, this is the medial epicondyle, right, of the arm. So basically, medial epicondyle, just the little bump we have in here, no? And then the lateral epicondyle is back here, right? You see that bump here. That's the olecranon, okay? So, so now, with the arm extended, I'm going to have a bump in here, olecranon. And pretty much at the same level, the bump of the lateral epicondyle. So the lateral and medial epicondyle belong to the humerus. The olecranon belongs to the ulna, okay? So starting from, let's start just below the medial, lateral epicondyle, right? We have a volume of muscles that we're going to examine later on. The together, let's say 3 muscles in here, right, that go down along the forearm like this to the fingers and the carpus. So these tendons in here will go down to the fingers and to the carpus here, right? So it means that they will extend. Imagine I have strings like this, right? If my string goes here to the carpal bones, if I pull, I extend the hand, right? If my tendon go down to the finger, I am gonna extend the fingers, right? So this group of muscle in here is made out of the extensor of the fingers, and then extensor of the pinky. Let's call it pinky, right? The real name is extensor digiti. Digiti is the Latin name for finger. Minimi. Minimi means small one, right? Like Austin Powers. And then all these names are written in the book, so you can look them up in the book. And then next to it here, the last muscle in here is the extensor carpis ulnaris. So I'm going to show you later a method to remember all these strange names, right? So I established, therefore, this long volume here, tapered, chunky in the upper 2/3, let's say, of the forearm, upper half, etc. And as I move down, it becomes flatter because it becomes tendinous, right? So this muscle here develop, they're formed in the upper part of the forearm, right? This is gonna be the volume of the forearm, like, and as I move toward the insertion away from the origin, this form here will become flatter. This form here, that is muscle here, is flesh, will become tendinous, so will become flat, right? So now this tendon will go to the carpus and to the fingers. Now let's maintain this as just one big form. So we have now again the extensor of the fingers, more or less here. Now I break it down in its components, right? This big volume of the extensors, I'm gonna break it down into its component. Then I have the extensor digiti minimi, which is a thin, long muscle. So the pinky means that the pinky has two tendons. It had its own muscle, and so a tendon coming from its own muscle, a tendon digiti minimi, and a tendon coming from the extensor digiti communis, the common extensor of the fingers. The last muscle here is the extensor carpi ulnaris. So this volume in here instead, right? There's not a volume here in the forearm in here like this. So let me block in a little bit now the profile of the arm, and later I'm going to add more muscles here, right? So this form here instead is created by the volumes of the brachioradialis, right? Which is this upper muscle that starts in the lower the lower portion of the upper third, of the upper portion of the lower third of the upper arm here, right? So here, this muscle, the brachioradialis, will go down here to the end of the radius, right? So you see how the name of the muscle gives away its origin, brachii or arm, and radialis or radius of the radius, right? So it goes from the brachii to the arm to the radius, right? That hence the name. And the tendon is going to be thin here and long and ends up here, which means here, right? Not to the back, not the front, but right here at the end of the radius, okay? So this muscle in here is not connected with the hand, it is connected with the forearm, flexion of the forearm. So these two muscles in here below, this volume, the remaining volume here is created by the extensor carpi radialis longus, because it starts higher, okay, and extensor carpi radialis brevis.